Hi, I'm Nautica de la Cruz, and welcome to the Nautica Show. I want to thank all of my friends on Facebook, and if you haven't been on my page yet, make sure you hit the like at Nautica de la Cruz. In the naughty news, it seems like everyone's getting a reality TV show, except for me, or getting their own network. Tamar Braxton and her husband, manager Vincent Herbert, have landed their own reality TV show while branching off the Braxtons' family values. Now, if you've seen the show, Tamar seems like she always has drama around her, so we know that it's not going to be a boring show. Well, Comcast has finally reached an agreement with the FCC that calls for them to launch a total of 4 minority-owned cable networks. According to the press releases, my good friend Magic Johnson is set to kick off his own cable network called Aspire. That's to be followed by a network called Revolt, headed by Sean P. Diddy Combs. Now, let's hope that both of these networks actually get launched and provides an opportunity to spotlight more minority talent like myself or yourself. That's your Naughty News Report. Today's guest has been a regular fixture on many of the best shows on television. However, some would say he came into his own with HBO's highly acclaimed series, The Wire. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Chad Coleman. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
That was a very good show, The Wire.
Absolutely. One of the most critically acclaimed shows in television history.
And do you ever look back and go, how much I missed the show?
Yeah, of course. I always miss The Wire. Well, it's hard to miss it because people are constantly coming up and being very gracious about it. And it's still on,
right.
And many, from DVD to, audience.
Syndication.
Yeah. I think it's the Audience Network that's airing on right now. So it's constantly, refreshed, in my mind.
You're on a new show now. I Hate My Teenage Daughter.
Yes.
And you
It's a comedy.
It's a comedy. It is a comedy, not a dramedy.
No, a lot of people, you say, I hate my,
Yes.
it's like, no, it's a joke. It's
right.
Not,
And you play a father of a young lady. She's a teenager. And you're a golf...
I'm a golf pro.
Golf pro. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with your characters.
Well, you know what? So you have 2 best friends who are divorced. And obviously I'm one of the fathers of the divorce. And we each have a daughter. Each couples have a daughter. And but we're still family, We're still trying to raise our daughter together.
Okay.
And we have a different approach to it, she begs her, I bribe her, So that's it's a fun show. It's very real, and it's zany, and it's got all the, they're little petulant little girls that think they know everything, Yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
I know that in the show, your daughter she's biracial.
Yes.
Because the wife that is played in the show is Caucasian. So it kind of gives a different light on biracial relationships, as well as bringing up a child that way.
Yeah, you know what? As the producer said, she said it's real life.
That's right.
It's been going on a long time.
It sure
has.
So
it's not like we shy away from it.
Right.
I'm a black man, so there are jokes that are that center around race in a very fun way. We're not afraid. We're not trying to sidestep it.
Right.
But at the same time, we're just normal people. We have a mixed president.
That is true.
Yeah, so it's just comes to a point. It felt normal. It's to me, I know other people sometimes can be hung up on that.
Okay.
But I think the beauty of it is, it's just you see 2 real people, dealing. Hey, the marriage didn't even work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it happened. We're real people dealing
right.
with real issues, and if you walk away talking about the fact that we're mixed, then you're going to miss the beauty of the show, I think.
I see. What drew you to this role?
It's art imitates life.
Okay.
I'm a divorced father of a 12-year-old daughter who is very much about building bridges instead of walls. Just because the marriage didn't work doesn't mean we are family.
Okay.
So that's what the show represents. I'm always over at her house, We're in there, and it's just in this day and age. I think when you kind of give people an opportunity to kind of laugh in situations that are, that can be uncomfortable, you learn more and you learn how to deal with each other better through humor. And I think we're using humor to be able to deal with a very serious subject matter and show people that you can have fun and you can be together,
Yeah.
So I think that's important.
Well, and nowadays with people getting divorced, it's such it is such a strong unity to still be a part of that child's life, because
Absolutely.
Regardless, you're going to have that child for the rest of your life.
That's right. And that parent, on some level, is going to be in your life.
Right.
So if you're not, if you're not interested in trying, I'm very much interested in working on a friendship.
Okay.
And I believe through that friendship, my daughter, there's a lot for her to profit from, and my stepson.
Yeah.
So that's I just don't like angst and anxiety, and
Yes.
I like to promote positive energy.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's very good, because when you promote positive energy, you kind of reflect that on other people
Right.
as well. Speaking about being a parent of two, how do you balance Hollywood and being a parent at the same time? Because you are living kind of a bi-coastal life.
That's right. I mean, that's what you do. I'm very intentional about it. Okay. I try to set up a system where, all right, 3 weeks on the West Coast, 1 week home. I try to work it like that. I'm on the phone all the time. We're texting. We're always communicating. I'm always wanting to know what's going on in their lives and how I can help them. So it's really just by being very conscious and recognizing what my responsibility is and what my role is as a father. Even if I'm not there, I still got to find a way to be there.
I see.
So whether it's Skyping or what have you, I'm going to make sure I'm in the mix.
So thank God for technology,
That's
right?
correct. Absolutely. Now that's one, right. That's one time I do applaud,
Technology.
I can barely send an email, but hey.
Oh, well, you're going to learn.
I do know how to get on Skype.
Well, one day you will learn that. Now, you did a TV movie for television, and you played O.J. Simpson.
I did.
How was that role? And
It was pre-Nicole.
Pre-Nicole.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Had nothing to do with that. And now this is interesting because prior to that, OJ was one of the most celebrated athletes
of all time
out there. Mm-hmm. And OJ was a pioneer in many ways in the commercials he was doing and things of that nature, way before the Jordans and before Magic.
Okay.
So, I wouldn't have touched anything that had to do with the Nicole situation.
Okay.
I would not have played it. But this was all about Monday Night Football.
All right.
And that's a huge entity. I mean, I'm sure many audience members can relate to
Yes.
So that's what that was, and actually I got quite the compliment from Spike Lee.
Really?
I'm doing it.
Did you ever get to meet OJ personally?
No.
No.
Mm-mm. Because by that time,
the situation
things were right.
Okay, a little different.
I mean, literally, I will tell you that. In that movie,
yes.
There was a scene where O.J. breaks down, and I killed it. And Ernest Dickerson was the director.
Yes.
And John Turturro was playing Howard Cosell. He was right there, on the side of the camera, just giving me stuff, and I broke down. It was an amazing scene. But they took it out of the movie because it showed O.J. in a sympathetic light.
Okay.
And so they weren't having it,
Okay.
But it was an amazing. That's one of the reasons why I did it, because it was an incredible scene.
Well, maybe they didn't want to show a sensitive side of
that's what. But because of the backlash,
right.
is why they did it. Initially, it was written that way, and but OJ popped up again. Something happened, and people got upset. The director told me years later, because Ernest ended up directing me in The Wire.
Okay.
And there was a particular scene where I had to. It was kind of like a love scene in The Wire. Mm-hmm. And I noticed I had done it about 15 times.
Oh.
And so he comes up to me afterwards and says, that's for them taking that monologue taking that scene out of the movie.
Oh, no. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Because he was upset by the fact that they took it out as well. So.
Okay. So you practice a little bit more in the love scene.
Yeah.
Speaking of love scenes, what is it like doing a love scene on TV? Is it nerve-wracking? Is it
no,
not at all?
Okay. No. I mean, I want my fellow scene partner to be comfortable.
Okay.
But once we get past that, I mean, who doesn't like to kiss? Come on,
So
I mean, really.
You got a lot of perks.
Oh my God, it's so uncomfortable. It's so hard. No. It's a lot of fun. To be real with you, it's a lot of fun. As long as your scene partner is having fun as well, you know?
Yeah. What do you think the difference is between network movies and cable movies? How do they differentiate each other?
I think when cable, you're able to take on subject matters in a way that you don't have to worry about advertisers and things of that nature.
Okay.
So you don't have you got more artistic leeway.
I see.
You know, to kind of push the envelope on things because you're not answering to so many people, you know. But in network television, advertisers have a huge voice.
So they kind of have a say in it, basically.
Yeah. Hey, that's how you make money. You sell commercial space to an advertiser.
I see.
So that's how they make their money.
When you do a role, or when you're offered a role, what kind of attracts you to that? Or what do you look for when you're presenting all these scripts?
I like complex characters.
Okay.
You know, I like it needs to be real. You know, I'm not looking to do anything hokey. You know,
right.
I like to tell real stories. You know, I don't like to shy away from tough subject matters. You know,
yes.
I think entertainment can have a wonderful responsibility, if you will. That may be a heavy-handed word, but I think it's important to be able to educate and teach people and entertain people at the same time.
Okay.
So I like stuff like that.
You've been an actor for quite some time. Did you have any obstacles as you were?
Look good.
What?
I look good.
Yes, you do. You look good.
I still look good.
You're sexy. You're very sexy.
Thank you.
What kind of obstacles have you had since you started in your career?
Wow. Let me see.
Was there was there once a time where you go, man, I can't believe I got this role because either my height or my body built or any particular reason?
Well, let me say this. I started out in theater, so before I hit the big screen and all that good stuff, I was doing theater. So that's been kind of the underbelly all the way through, you know, having the opportunity to get on the stage and do plays. The industry in and of itself is just tough to make it, you know. We had strikes go down, you know, shows get canceled.
True.
So, you know, money gets short, you know. So those are the kind of challenges I was faced. But I always worked, though, you know. But also, I think the biggest challenge is developing as a human being to be able to deal with the industry, you know? Because you got to have a certain, or you should have a certain level of maturity about you, because you got to be able to handle this disappointment, you know? You got to be able to handle not getting a role, but there's no real logic to why you didn't get it.
I see.
You know, things of that nature. But you got to be able to handle that. So I think for me, that's been my primary goal, is to continue to evolve as a human being, you know. So that, because everybody always blames the industry, you know. Well, the industry's not going to change. It is what it is, you know, and it's up to me to be able to negotiate it in a way where I still have joy and happiness and, you know, make sure I got my priorities straight, you know.
Now, you said you come from Broadway. You did that for quite some time. What do you prefer more? You like Broadway more over film and TV, or?
No, I don't have a particular preference, really. You know, I mean, I came from the theater, so it's near and dear to me for sure. But the craft of acting is you know, that's my bread and butter. That's what I really do. So in all of those mediums, it's fun, and each one has different. You know, of course, you got live theater. You know,
yes.
I get an opportunity to perform for the President of the United States.
That's amazing.
Like, wow, yeah, that was. Oof. You know, Meryl Streep was in the house. And, you know, so yeah, live theater has its. Each one of them have, you know, very particular reasons why I really enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you perform for the President?
It was called Joe Turner's Come and Gone. It was by August Wilson.
Oh, that's amazing. I read the play.
Okay.
That's a very good one.
And
a great interpretation of it as well.
Oh, my goodness. Deep
well. You have a production company. Let's talk about that.
Yes.
Why did you start this production company? What was the calling of it?
Well, initially, I came up with this idea called Chad's Fighting Chance.
Okay.
And initially it was going to be a feature documentary, and we were going to go. Myself and Jamie Hector were going to be the host of this. It was, this feature film documentary. We're going to go in the hood, and we're following the kids as they use boxing as a way to get out of the hood.
Okay.
And so once we had the initial treatment, as you take the steps, part of that is having a production company to be able to produce it. So, but for me, the initial deal is wanting to give back,
okay.
wanting to shine a light on those who don't often get much attention.
Right.
Because as I was doing The Wire, you're right there in the heart of it, and like the guy who my character was kind of based off really inspired me. He did an amazing life. He took a wrong turn early in his life, changed his life around, and was right there in the hood, really, doing everything he could through boxing to help these kids. I thought that was really inspiring, and I want to shine some light on him.
Well, there's so many wonderful humanitarians out there in the world that they don't have a reality TV show. No one's following them with the camera.
Absolutely.
So this is a good way for you to show a different side of that.
Absolutely. So now what it is, though, it's going to be a reality-based web series. And so when you log on to Chad's Fighting Chance, you can blog with the kids, you could mentor a kid online, you can donate money to a scholarship fund in their name. So all over the world, a lot of people say they want to help. It's like, well, now you can do it right from your laptop, right in the privacy of your own home. And so you can make an investment and you don't even have to go there. Not that you shouldn't, but if it's possible to give people access, and the reaction to The Wire just showed you that people love that subject matter,
I see.
That's really deep and compelling, and they're interested in things that are, not just fluff. So it'll be a reality-based web series, and we hope to each year go to a different city, and even take it internationally, because of the fact that it's internet-based,
How long is each segment? Is it 10 minutes, 30 minutes?
It's going to be like 8 minutes.
Okay. Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, and it'll be about a season of, probably be about 14.
Okay, that's not bad. That's good.
So we're in development with it now. We got to get the...
Well, and getting the kids involved as well is a wonderful thing, because you can show them a different light.
Oh, absolutely. There's some of their family members. You can just allow people into a world that they don't often have access to.
Now, you come from the foster care system.
Yes.
And you kind of touched my heart on that, because I have a neighbor who she also came from the foster care system, and she would tell me the ups and downs of it. And she turned out to be this amazing woman, and she adopted 5 children of her own. And so I have to say that if you could speak a little bit on that, of growing up in the foster care system, so you could enlighten some people that are watching this show.
Absolutely. Well, in Richmond, Virginia, long story short, there were 5 of us. I was 11 months old. My sisters were 3 and 4. My brothers were 6 and 7. Unfortunately, whatever occurred, we were left alone.
Okay. My
brother tried to cook for us, set the project on fire, and they came in, and it was just 5 kids. And then, there for the grace.
Okay.
Lottie Bird was looking to adopt 1 child because she was raising her 4-year-old grandson.
I see.
And the social worker said, "You've got to see these 5 kids." She saw us. She went back home and told George Bird, and George Bird said, "Bring them all."
Okay.
So they saved our lives. That's, it's not often. Sometimes, usually, like you said, it was interesting that your friend adopted 5 kids.
Yeah.
But they weren't all brothers and sisters, right?
No, 2 are, and and they're all from different ethnicities.
Okay.
And it's funny, because I always go, gosh, you warm my heart, because I would love to bring another child into this home. You don't know what a child goes through when they are in the foster care system.
Right.
And you're right. Some people don't adopt all kids. Sometimes it's rare. 1 out of 2.
Right. We get split up.
Yes.
We didn't get split up. They took all 5 of us. They saved our lives. And
beautiful.
Yeah, it's just beautiful people. They were like older people. Older, like grandparents, kind of. But they gave us what we needed. You learn that you're gonna get up. You're gonna work hard.
Yes.
You're going to school and you're going to make good grades.
Okay.
You're going to get up, you're going to get out of school and you're going to come and work with me.
Okay.
You know, because he was like a used junk car dealer.
Okay.
So we had to, you know, we learned the tenets of hard work. Saturdays were not all cartoons and sleeping in like my daughter.
So what'd you do on Saturdays?
We got up and we went out on this truck like Fred Sanford's truck. I kid you not.
Okay.
A larger version of that.
All right.
And we went out and found junk cars and hauled them to the junkyard and got paid for it.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a hard-working man.
I see.
Blue collar, but they totally saved our lives, you know. And my foster brother, I just texted him the other day. We still in contact, you know. All my family's doing well.
Okay.
Everybody turned out.
Okay. Would you ever think about doing a story or maybe even on your website a website about the foster care system or telling your own story?
I think I should, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've been toying with putting together my story for sure because every time I talk about it, people are like, you got to do something with that.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely working on that.
Okay.
But maybe, and that's interesting, maybe we should introduce it on the web series as well. Because I'm sure probably some of the kids are in foster care already, so.
Well, you know, and it would give them something to look at to see that they're not alone, that they're not the only people out there in the foster care system.
Absolutely.
And one thing I've learned about friends that have been in the foster care system is that the only thing they ever wanted as a kid was love.
That's correct.
That's love. And
That's
love
right.
does so much for a person.
Absolutely.
Did you get enough love in your family?
I think it's safe to say that I did. You know, we all have our, you know, you can never get enough.
True.
But totally. It was a well-rounded, you know, very warm household. So, yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. So you were raised pretty well then.
Oh, no, I was. There's no question about it. And growing up in Richmond, Virginia, we had a fantastic school system. All my teachers, I think they all knew that I was a foster kid. You know, I got a lot of attention and a lot of encouragement. And my foster parents always said, you can do anything you put your mind to.
Where did you go to school and what did you major in?
I went to Virginia Commonwealth University and I majored in theater.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a theater major. Now, initially, I took my first plane ride to New York at 18, auditioned for NYU.
Yes.
Got accepted out of like 2,500 other applicants. And actually, at that time, I was awarded the Court of the State of Virginia because at 12, my foster parents moved to Boston. Okay. But we didn't go because my brothers and sisters weren't going. You know, I was at that age where I was very attached to, you know, home.
Right.
So I didn't go. So we went to live with my grandmother, but she didn't adopt us.
I see.
So I was awarded a Court of the State of Virginia. In that situation, I was supposed to get a free ride to any college I got accepted in. And I got into NYU, and Ronald Reagan took the program off the books.
Oh.
So I ended up going to school in my hometown, Virginia Commonwealth University.
Okay. If you weren't an actor, what would you be doing?
A broadcaster.
Broadcaster?
Yeah.
Oh, so you'd be the roles would be
switch places. Because you'd be an actress. I know you would. Yeah. You probably are anyway.
Well, you know, it's funny. I do love the craft of acting. I'm about to let out one of my biggest flaws. I'm not really good at memorizing.
Oh, okay.
And maybe you could teach me a technique, or what is the
repetition,
or following directions, as my executive producer would say.
Repetition.
Yeah, repetition.
Just say it over and over and over again.
Okay.
And then the other question is, okay, what's blocking me from? What's not allowing me to connect to the material where it's like, you know, once you really internalize something,
yes,
it should come easy.
Naturally.
Right. It should come to you easy. So maybe it's the way it's written. You know, maybe you might need to, like, no, I need to change it up because if I rewrite it like this, it comes out naturally for me, you know.
But what about, for example, what about directors that are, you better stick to the script and that's it, no ifs, ands, or buts. Yeah. Sometimes you just can't get it together. Would that be, could that be corrected, or would that need someone need more training?
I would wager that you probably, relaxation is incredibly important.
Okay.
And memorizing things.
Okay.
You need to be relaxed.
All right. And not have so much anxiety.
That's correct.
You just taught me something.
Help. Yes, totally.
Okay. Who did you study under?
Well, I mean, Gary Harper, and you wouldn't know the you know, folks at the professors at Virginia Commonwealth University. In New York, like at HB Studios. But yeah, I don't.
Okay, so you would be.
But I know, like, I learned the method, and you know, I learned the history of the group theater, and you know how the method came about, and Stanislavski and Uta Hagen. All these people are a part of, you know, like theater history and understanding technique and things of that nature. So
Okay.
yeah.
So you said earlier, if you were not an actor, you'd be broadcasting. What kind of broadcasting you do? Would it be sports, news, radio?
Definitely radio.
Well, you have a great voice.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up just, I love radio. You know, it was WANT, Kirby Carmichael, the Rockin' Jock.
Oh, the Rockin' Jock. Okay.
That was in Richmond, Virginia. So
Okay.
yeah, I think. You know what? Really, I think I would probably be heavy in radio.
Okay.
And I think it would be talk radio, you know, talk radio with some comedy. You know, kind of I would like to do a radio variety show.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Bring all different subject matters, you know, different kinds of people.
What are some of the subjects that kind of enlighten you or?
I don't have any problem. I'm fascinated with the history, you know. The issue of race, relationships,
Yes.
very much interested in how relationships work, when they don't work. The relationship, a parent, you know, parenting,
Okay.
I think is really compelling, you know, what a child needs in order to develop, to be, you know, kind of successful person in society. What else? Like I said, I love history, the whole civil rights movement era, and all of, you know, studying. I love the history of different dictators and you know, different countries, stuff like that. I have a vast, you know,
You have a vast interest in everything.
Yeah, and a lot of as long as it has to do with people and you know, the way they make decisions, how they think, and I find all that stuff very.
So you're very much a people person. What intrigues you about people? Are you a people watcher also?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to be an observer. You know, as an actor, you should always be an observer.
Does that help you?
I'm fascinated the way people think. I'm fascinated about their history, like, you know, what their relationship was like with their parents, where they grow up, you know, how their environment affects who they are, you know.
I see. Because that makes a person.
Yeah, a lot. It's all of, you know, all of the above. You know, genetics, environment, you know, who you come across, who inspire you, you know, people who take an interest in you or not, you know. Yeah, I find it's very, very fascinating for me, you know, in growing up. Like I could the effects of still having wonderful foster parents,
Right.
but having like issues of abandonment. You're gonna feel it like as a foster kid because you're trying to solve that issue. Well, why? What was wrong with me? You know, I find all that stuff very, very fascinating. That's why I know how important it is for me to really, 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 really be in my daughter's life and pour into her. You know, because it helps her self-esteem, sense of self. She learns all of that a lot through us and how we treat her.
I see.
You know, so needless to say, she has no self-esteem issues. She's very sure of who she is.
She got it right.
So is he. Yeah.
Last but not least, what are the new projects you have coming up?
Well, we got Life, Love, Soul.
Okay.
And that's been a wonderful labor of love to get it to, you know, the AMC theaters. So that'll be coming out April 12th. I'm working on well, you know, did I say Teenage Daughter is coming out?
Yes, next month it premieres
March
again.
6th, yeah, Tuesday nights at 8:30. So that's coming out. I'm also working on a short film called Shattered Pitch.
Okay.
So we're getting ready to crank that out. Right now, I'm actually doing an episode of Criminal Minds.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm playing a really juicy role.
Juicy role?
Yeah.
Can't tell me too much about
Me
it.
and Shamar, we're going to mix it up, you know.
Shamar Moore?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be nice.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
He's a great actor as
He
well.
is. He's worked really hard.
Well, we are going to look forward to seeing you next month on I Hate My Teenage Daughter.
Yes,
and
please,
I want to say
everybody support.
thank you so very much for being here today. I really
Thank
do
you.
appreciate it. And I've learned a lot from you today. I really do.
Well,
I really have.
Thank you. I'm glad I could be of service.
And I also think that you should do your story.
I am.
Okay?
I am.
You have to.
I will.
And I'll be the first one seated to watch it.
All right.
Thank you so
Thank
very
you,
much.
love. Appreciate
All right.
you.
Thank you, Jack.
All right.